Hey guys, this is SquiddyVon, and welcome to .GameTV. In this video, I wanted to talk about Akila City, one of the cities mentioned in the upcoming game Starfield, which will be released by Bethesda later this year. Through official social media channels, Bethesda has announced several major cities for the game, including developer commentary YouTube videos showing some imagery and basic details on each city's style and history. I've already done videos on the other cities mentioned, Neon and New Atlantis, and I'll have those videos linked in the description below, so be sure to subscribe to the channel for those updates and tons of other Starfield related content. In the settled systems of Starfield, an area of humanity-explored space spanning 50 light-years, we know that two factions, the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective, engaged in a bloody colony war. The United Colonies, or UC, has already been described by Bethesda as the most powerful political and military faction in the game, so we know the Freestar Collective, by that understanding, is much less powerful and influential within the settled systems. The capital of the Freestar Collective is Akila City, a markedly more rugged and less futuristic city than New Atlantis, the capital of the UC. Now, we don't know a great deal about the scale of the colony war that took place 30 years before Starfield is set, but based on the images of the capital cities we have seen, it doesn't seem too big of a stretch to infer that the Freestar Collective was in some way the loser of the colony war. The faction has been described as a loose confederation of three distinct star systems. We don't know the total number of star systems that will be included in Starfield when the game releases later this year, but on the surface, 3 doesn't sound like too many, and the term loose being used implies that the current leadership of the faction may not be perfectly organized and orderly when it comes to maintaining worlds and power. Concerning Akila City itself, in the developer commentary YouTube video, Emil Pagliarulo, design director at Bethesda, told us that the city itself is home to a variety of people, but they all have one thing in common: they believe in the sanctity of personal freedom and individuality. Since we know there was a colony war, it seems this libertarian philosophy of the Akila City residents in some way clashed with the ideals of the more utopian United Colonies, and the difference was important enough to fight over. My personal feeling is that the Freestar Collective was likely resistant to some for the greater good concept adopted by the United Colonies, and in the name of personal freedoms, this resistance inevitably led to a war. Ultimately, this is still just speculation though, and I will definitely be on the lookout for more history and lore that can confirm, reject, or supplement these ideas. The city itself is the most rugged and antiquated we have seen yet, and if you are looking for luxury accommodations in Starfield, I think Akila City might be a hard pass. In fact, based on the images that have been shared, the word city might seem to be something of an embellishment altogether, and colony or base might be a more apt description. Now, there isn't much imagery to go off of at the moment, but what we do have appears to show a cluster of buildings and structures surrounded by a giant wall seen off in the distance. The roads, or lack thereof, appear to be just dirt, and the puddles or ice patches present indicate that drainage or other infrastructure elements normally seen in bigger cities may be absent from Akila altogether. It also looks very cold and windy, with steam rising over the buildings and icy mountains in the background, the base of which you can see windmills that likely supply the city's power. Now, alright, I know, what a lot of you have been waiting for, the video title and the thumbnail. Let's get into that. In the developer commentary YouTube video, Emil also said Akila City is walled for a reason, and stepping outside those walls means facing the deadly Ashta, alien predators that are a cross between a wolf and a velociraptor. So it sounds like going beyond the walls of Akila, players can expect to be in an immediately dangerous environment, and will need to stay on their toes. Previous Bethesda games like Skyrim and Oblivion are no stranger to wolves, which occasionally pose as an annoyance when journeying from one place to another, usually just taking a couple sword swings to deal with before continuing on your way. It looks like Bethesda is trying to up the ante here by crossing the familiar furry predator with one of Earth's most historically impressive, the Velociraptor. The new Creation Engine 2 being used for the development of Starfield will undoubtedly have improvements to the game's AI elements, which I'm hoping will apply to NPCs, but also creatures like the Ashta. Spending time outside the walls of Akila would definitely be more interesting, knowing that a strong, fast, and most of all smart predator was watching my every move, waiting for the right moment to strike. While we do have some images of alien creatures in Starfield, which we'll talk about more in another video, the creatures shown here don't scream Wolf-Raptor to me, so we'll likely have to wait on other images showing exactly what these marauders look like. I'm confident these alien hunters will offer good jump scare moments in the game, and hopefully will be an element that is more dynamic and less trivial and annoying than wolves from the Elder Scrolls series. Overall, I think Akila is going to be a very interesting place to explore, with a lot of bitter history and lore to soak up, and is one that will give players plenty of a chance to play the underdog role. I'd love to hear what you guys think about Akila and what you'll be expecting from the capital city when Starfield comes out. Are you going to join the Freestar Collective and fight for personal freedom? Or will you step outside the city's walls to hunt the dangerous Ashta? Make sure to hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments your thoughts, and if there are topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. That's all for now, guys. I'll be back again soon with another Starfield video. Stay tuned. This is Squiddyvon, and this is .GameTV.